Hello there and welcome back to the flight deck. We are continuing our journey to Austria, starting our third leg of the tour. We are here in Klagenfurt. We landed here last night. Now it's a new beautiful day. We'll get back into the aircraft. Thankfully the weather is still awesome outside, so we are able to continue VFR. I already checked the plane on the outside. It's in a very good condition. I already did the weight and balance. So without any further ado, we are good to start on the inside. I will have the battery come on whilst the Garmin is spooling up. We're gonna check our flight controls, verify they are moving free and correct, which they are. Perfect. Yeah, there's no other general aviation plane around. There's only this IFR plane in front of us. Not a lot happening here in Klagenfurt. It's a very rarely used airport, not a lot of traffic. But I still love that it's included within the standard sim, and it looks really great. It's very beautiful. Okay, nevertheless, for our flight, we will get this warning off first. Today we are going to fly into another ASUS provided airport. So in the standard sim, it I think came with a world update, and it's Trieben, a very small airfield in the middle of the Alps. If I zoom out here a little bit, it's somewhere back there. So we're going to fly into the Alps over here, and it's somewhere around here. There seems to be a little bit of weather down there. Not a problem for us. Nevertheless, there are some things that I still want to do. That's first of all, check that our fuel is set correctly.
TOS system test. Okay.
That is checked. We can reset the fuel, we can decrease it. I already fueled up again. We're on 32 gallons. Remaining volts are looking good for the time being. Let's do our before start checklist. So, the electrical trim is on takeoff, so neutral, that is perfect. Propeller, mixture and throttle are where they should be. The parking brake is set. The ignition key is on the off position, that is checked. Alternate air, static air are both closed. The master is on off, that is correct. All lights are the way they are supposed to be. Fuel pump and pitot heat is off. Flap selector up. Oh, we skipped the part here, and the circuit breakers are in. Battery switch is on. The G1000 is powered. Flight controls are checked. We're gonna do full travel of our flaps. Check our light indicators. We can verify that the flaps are moving. Let's put them back to takeoff. There we go. And our light indication is correct as well. Fuel selector. We once again select the right tank for the startup procedure. So we have the left tank for takeoff, as it's considered our main tank. And with that, we can go over to the engine start. Looking at our engine page, we are below 150, so we will have a cold start again. And with that, we are good. Let's close up the canopy. Make sure that it's locked. Check on the back side that we are locked as well. Very good. We will have the strobe light come off, the alternator can come on. We will engage the fuel pump. Come up to about 50% of throttle, and then we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. That is looking good. Come back on our throttle, go into the start position, and there she goes. Perfect. Fuel pump off. Let's come down to 1200 RPM. Nice. Come down on the mixture, and it should drop now. Yeah, there she goes. Bring her up again, and come down to roughly 1000 RPM for warm up. Perfect. So before we continue on our checklist, let's plug into the audio system again. And there we are. Much nicer, much quieter. Now we continue. The lights are as they are supposed to be. We gauge on our standby instruments. We continue over here. And it's good. Peter heat. We test. There is nominal. Avionic master switch can come on. And down here we're good. Let's check on our after engine start checklist. The mixture is on ground, lean lights as required, standby horizon engaged, flaps are set for takeoff. Peter heat is tested, avionic master switch is on, transponder we will verify is still on standby. There's the avionic system alive. Down to the land basically completed. The other stuff we're gonna take care of right now. The first things first, we're gonna do a little bit of FMS setup. We have more or less a route planned. Let's come in here, flight plan. We're gonna leave Klagenfurt. Our destination will be Trieben, so Lima Oscar Golf India, which I'm keen to see because with same tensions you can create your own taxi profiles. And I tested it on Trieben, and I'm very interested in how things worked out. If it's the way that I hope it will be. And there's one Lima Oscar Kilo Hotel is an airfield, which is going to give us a nice spot in the Alps because we were going to try to fly some valleys. There are some quite high tips. This is the first time we will really be flying into the Alps. So you can already see here, this is where we want to go through somewhere about and then up to Trieben. And if I hit that point, it's going to put us right between the valleys. I already checked. Airspace echo heightly, we can go up to 6,500 feet without any problem. Anywhere, the only area that we need to cross is ZELTWEG, a military area. We will have to ask for permission to cross it. Normally, it's not a problem. Other than that, we are trying to climb 6,500 feet and check if it's enough height to outclimb the terrain until Trieben. In Trieben, we're gonna come over the mountain tips basically, so we will eventually have to circle down somewhere in here, or maybe we will do some different routing, but we will see about that once we get there. For right now, we are doing our ride as planned in here. We come down on the range here. And yeah, we're good to go. One thing that we need to check on is I need the ATIS information for Klagenfurt, which is 126.330 normally. Let's see, 126.330. I said. Let's scroll down here, 330. There is nothing, which is no bueno. I'm gonna double check with say intentions. Gonna check on my audio. Maybe something is wrong here. No, everything should be working properly. Meaning that we're gonna try something different. We're gonna turn in the radio, which is 118.1. 118.1. I think we will be fast into this direction. Klagenfurt Tower, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, radio check.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, Klagenfurt Tower, readability 5.
5 as well, thank you, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. So we now know that our radio is working perfectly fine. Question is, why am I not getting any ATIS information here? I don't like that. We cannot hear any ATIS at all. In preparation work, we can go on to Klagenfurt. It says 126.33 here as well, so we are definitely correct. Okay, no ATIS. We can have a look at the weather though. And we can see QNH should be 1017. So in preparation for flight, we're gonna set 1017 over here. Perfect. I was just checking if we're on the right livery because it feels like the state saving did not work quite that well this time. That doesn't really matter for the time being. We are good and set. The FMS is set up. One more thing that we want to do is we want to check our autopilot. So once again, heading mode on straight ahead, heading mode autopilot, move to the left, the stick is moving, move to the right, the stick is moving, no disconnect if I move the stick myself. Manual disconnect, there it goes. Hold the manual disconnect button, the electric trim should not be moving, there we go. And now it does when we release the disconnect for the autopilot. Perfect, this is how it should be. We are all set and done. As we are in the control airfield, we definitely need to turn on the position light. There's really this eye for traffic all in front of us.
Temperature 16, dew point 6. QNH 1017. Transition level 110. Data link CPDLC may be experiencing degraded performance. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information Papa. Klagenfurt Airport, information Papa.
Okay, it took some time for the ATIS, but we finally got it in. Nevertheless, in preparation for a continuous flight, we are gonna come into the charts again because later on we might be handed over to approach. This is 123.325. That was wrong. QNH 1017. 123.325. There we go. That would be the approach frequency. As for our initial climb, we are leaving via sector north. So our maximum climb out altitude will be 3,500 feet, which we're gonna set in here. And with that, we are all ready to go. Klagenfurt Tower, good morning. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, VFR from Lima Oscar Whiskey Kilo to Lima Oscar Golf India. Diamond Star request to depart Klagenfurt to the north. That was not 100% correct on this score, but
Oscar Echo Lima, runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff. After departure, enter right downwind for a straight out departure to the north. Remain at or below 4,000 feet. Report leaving the circuit.
Okay, cleared for departure, runway 28 right, and after departure, enter right downwind, 4,000 feet or below, departure to the north, and we will report leaving the circuit. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. The only thing that worries me in this clearance, we can by the way set this to 4,000, we already cleared for this altitude, is he would never give us a takeoff clearance here. He would give us a VFR departure clearance. We do know now that we are departing from runway 28 right, which we already were expecting. Why is it thinking that the plane is up here? Now that's very incorrect. The plane is not up here, the plane is somewhere else, but hopefully, if we get into the chart again, get into the approach chart, now it's showing the correct position, okay. Yeah, We have our approach chart. We want to have this one. Hello. My mistake. I like to use the wrong buttons here. So 28 right, we're gonna fly into the right and downwind, and then we're cleared to leave into the traffic circuit, maximum 4,000 feet, departure to the north, and we have to report leaving the traffic circuit. Okay. So we are basically all set up. Let's get into our checklist once again. The autopilot is tested, FMS is set up. I have our that is checked. Taxi, fuel selector, view fullest tank. We're not going to do this right now. We're going to use our right tank until we go to departure. And we will check everything over here. Perfect. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, request taxi.
Oscar Echo Lima, runway 28 right taxi via taxi lane 20, Lima, Charlie, hold short of runway 10 left, then Yankee.
Runway 28 right, taxi via taxi lane 20, Lima, Charlie, hold short, runway 10 left, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, then Yankee. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but other than that, I'm fine. We get the taxi clearance released. The parking brake, the taxi lights can come off. We are clear on the left side, we are clear on the right side. And she starts rolling all by herself. We are going to get right onto taxi lane 20 over here. Whilst that is happening, we're gonna observe that our standby instruments are working correctly. That's looking good, everything is moving the way that it should. And we're gonna check that our brakes are working correctly, which they are. So with that, we are good to go. Taxi lane 20, this is here. And now we're gonna keep on going straight. Join Lima in front of us. Right here. Perfect. Let's focus a little bit on the taxiing here. Try to stay on the taxi line again. There we go. Very nice. We can set the transponder to altitude now. Transponder 7000 is set. That's good. As a VFR flight, we will call the controller when ready for departure. It's better because we have to do a run-up. This is something bigger planes normally do not have to do. There are some reasons that they need to, but yeah. Nevertheless, let's set the parking brake. The taxi light can come off for a short while. And let's get into checklist again. So, the parking brake. Everything was tested correctly. We're going to go into our before takeoff procedures. The aircraft orientation into the wind. Wind suck. Yeah, wind is somewhere from back there. We could have done a little right turn into the wind, but we will be okay. There's not too much wind going on anyway, so it won't hurt that much. Nevertheless, the parking brake is set. The engine temperatures, observe that they are all within the green. They are looking good. The circuit breakers are all in, that is checked and verified. The doors are closed, we already checked that. The mixture is coming on to full rich now. And then we go for our run-up procedures. So, throttle, 2000 RPM. There we go, almost. It's so hard to get that perfect. Good. Let's do the propeller sector. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Magneto check. Left magneto by 90. Right magneto by 110. so the difference in the drops are perfect. Thrust idle. And the engine does stay alive. Let's recover to 1000 RPM. And with that, we are set up. The fuel pump can come on. And now we're building the tablet. We performed everything down here. Fuel pump is on. Trim is still set for takeoff. And let's do our rudder work again. Perfect. Now one more thing that I want to look up. He said he yanked. So is he supposing us to take off from runway 26 left? No. I'm just looking again. It was always runway 28, right? Okay. Nevertheless, we're good. We're just gonna call in that we're ready for the. Wow, what was that for a leg? Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima is ready for departure. Let's see if this
Echo Lima, runway 28 right, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff, Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima. Set the brakes, release the parking brake, start rolling. We can do a straight out departure over here. That is not enough runway. We will backtrack a little bit, then basically turn around and get going. Nevertheless, we are clear on the approach sectors. Clear over there as well. Let's focus on taxiing again. Things are looking rather nice. Over here, I'm already starting to zoom out a little bit, so we have that terrain information that we need. 4,000 feet is going to give us a good initial height. Very nice. Okay, we're good on our engine. We want to get back into charts. We want to go into our approach chart. And on here, we're going to zoom in. And we will come down a little bit and come to the left a little bit. Try to get back on the center line. Yeah, that's the things you have to live with when you're a single pilot. You have to do everything on your own, and sometimes taxiing becomes a little hard. Okay. I think this should give us plenty of runway. We are going to do a turnaround over here. Okay, the transponder is set to altitude, the timer restart, and with that we're all set. Takeoff thrust is set. Airspeed is alive. knots, rotate, and here we go fly. Beautiful. Start our right turn into the downwind here. Speed is looking good, 400 feet above the ground almost. We'll climb up that hill over there. Let's come flaps 1. And we'll return to a nice power set. Climb. I don't want to fly over that tipper yet. We're not high enough for that. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, leaving the traffic circuit. And we'll continue with our departure to the north. Perfect. Did he get the message? He did not respond. Okay. We are still in the zone. Fuel pump can come off. We're gonna leave the lighting on for now. We are slowly climbing 4,000 feet. Let's see if he hands us off by himself. If not, we will ask him if we are allowed to leave the frequency. Nevertheless, for now we are nice and set. We can come into the engine page real quick. Adjust to some proper temperatures. 350 max, somewhere around there should be good for the moment. BA. Okay. And come back to the charts. Approach chart. We are now with the wrong one, of course. View departure airport. There we go. Now it's switched over here again. And it put us in the approach chart as well. Ah, Jesus. Okay, there we go. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, request to leave frequency. I did not understand the word. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is short before St. Donat. He will not get that. Lima Oscar Kilo Romeo. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is at Lima Oscar Kilo Romeo. Does he get it now? Okay. This is not a good day for intention, it seems like. Nevertheless, in here we can already climb 4,500 feet. So let's do that. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, request to leave frequency. That dude is broke as fuck. Correct. He said that we're leaving his airspace. I have no idea why we're not even hearing him. Okay, that is not working good. Let's set 1 to 4.4 over here. We want to get some flight information service. Yeah, we are. I think we are just leaving. That is not working nice, but okay. Bringing information. Good morning, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Hopefully this works.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Mean info, pass your message.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, VFR Diamond Star from Lima Oscar Whiskey Kilo to Lima Oscar Golf India. Request traffic service.
Oscar Echo Lima. Squawk 1636 and ident.
squawk 1636 and ident Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. There we go. Now we are leaving the next piece of the TMA, which means we can slowly start climbing. At least 6,500 feet. We are past, so we will continue our climb. We're a little bit in the yellow speed range there, that is absolutely no problem. As long as there are no big turbulences or strong maneuvers, we can get into that higher speed up there. But since we're climbing now again, we're gonna use that energy again for our V rate, so everything's going to be fine again. Nevertheless, over here, let's come down to a... Yeah, that might be something we could slowly start doing. We're gonna set direct, activate at nav, so we're turning inbound to Meyer. No, it's not Meyerhof. Friesach, I think the airport is called. We just use it as a waypoint basically to orientate ourselves through the valleys over here. Over here we want to have a little better situational awareness. We can already see the mountain tips in front of us are already within the yellow, so we are 1,000 feet above, I think. Yellow is 1,000 feet above and red... Oh, green is 2,000 feet, yellow is 1,000 feet and red is not so good. So with the yellow ones we're basically safe, we would be quite close to the ground. Since we're climbing now anyways, it doesn't really matter. Whilst we're doing this, he got the destination right, he got radar contact, and we're on the right squawk code. So with this at least everything worked out again. The VFA departure was somewhere... okay. Maybe I did a mistake, I'm not sure. But in the end it still worked out. The real big problem that we had was the handoff of the frequency. Even the frequency would have needed to be approved by him, but the AI did not really get what we wanted there. Not a problem for us. We made it work. Anyways, one thing that is worrying me a little bit is we can see some clouds coming up in front of us. They seem to be at a good height, so they should not become a problem for us, but we see some rain over there happening. When we zoom out, okay, the weather is looking alright, I guess. Nevertheless, we are coming up with a control zone over here, so we want to cross it. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, request to cross control zone Lima Oscar X-ray Zulu. Let's see if that works.
Oscar Echo Lima, clear to cross ZELTWEG control zone. Report leaving the zone.
Clear to cross control zone and report leaving the zone, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Perfect. So, lights can come off. Now we do not need them anymore. And what we never did was the climb checklist. So, line up obviously, do it automatically, but climb, the flaps are up, that is verified. We are set to our climb performance. The fuel pump is off, the lights as required, the temperatures, we check the instruments monitors. Perfect, okay. We are reaching 6,500 feet. We will actually change the topographic info on this chart real quick. And we can see this is where we need to fly from the valley a little bit. And then we should have a nice time coming into Lean. So we can continue on our route for the time being. We get back to this map here. Things are looking good. And now we want to get a nice weight and balance. Not weight and balance. We want to go on to our speed tables over here. And we go 6,000 feet. We want to set 2,000 RPM and 22 inches. Okay, so let's reduce 2,000 RPM. There we go. That is looking good. Come back on the maps here. We want to go to the engine page, and now we're gonna lean in the fuel. Watch the temperatures rise. Number 4 seems to be the highest at the moment. Slowly, slowly. Wait until it starts dropping again. There we are. That is a good set. Perfect. So the engine is set. We're going to come down on
altitude at your discretion.
Roger. Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima. I do not know why he's saying that at the moment, but it actually doesn't really matter. Okay. So basically we're cleared to cross the control zone of ZELTWEG. ZELTWEG we should be seeing once we get over that mountain part over here, which I'm monitoring over here. We should be 2,000 feet above ground pretty much all the time. And since we can observe that visually, we're never going to have any big problem. I feel like textures in 2024 are worse than in 2020. I could not remember seeing something like this. This looks crap. I hope things are going to change somewhere down the line, but we will see. Nevertheless, I will ask the controller or the traffic information service guy for some local QNH, so we are set right on the altitude. Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima, request QNH.
Oscar Echo Lima, QNH 1017.
QNH 1017, Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima, thank you. Perfect. So the QNH setting is still valid. And that in front of us, this is the valley that we're following into for Dream. Right, yeah, somewhere. There seems to be some traffic. That is 2,000 feet below us and going straight for the mountains. That guy's gonna die. There's also some traffic that should be right on our left side. He is 1,000 feet above us. I do not see anyone around. He should be quite close. If we zoom in here, he's 2.5 miles out. Pretty much now on our left wing. Somewhere out there. But I cannot see anybody. There's some more traffic over here in the area of ZELTWEG, but he's 7,000 feet above us, so that's not a problem. That could never become a problem. This is where ZELTWEG is, down there. ZELTWEG basically is an Austrian military airport, where the Austrian fighter jets are located at. In the middle of the Alps. I think that is so cool. Here you can see the runway. This is where it is. Very cool airport. I've been there myself already. Super interesting to go there. Okay. We're in the middle of the control zone. We should tell the flight information service guy once we leave the zone again. So we will be doing just that. And then we're very close to our descent already again. Airport in the distance, looking super nice. And here is the valley, so we're gonna go left down there. I think this will be the way in. And we'll come down into Dream. That guy now is 2,000 feet above us. So he's somewhat outclimbed the terrain. Should be right in front of there. Flying over those mountain tips at the moment. After that we got a airspace echo 6,500 feet and below, and then next further on it just gets higher. So we are good at 6,500 feet. The only control zone we would ever have to cross was this one. We never had to change frequencies, so that will not come up anymore. So we can already set 122.505, 122.505, because that will be dream information. And I'm going to prepare myself some charts. There is not a lot of information available. Basically, I have a VFR aerodrome chart and a VFR approach chart. And the VFR approach chart just tells you 2 sectors. Traffic circuit is 1,200 feet above ground level, which means the airport is in an elevation 4. You could actually look that up in here.
Trieben Airport at your 1 o'clock, 14 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Squawk 7000. Have a good afternoon.
That is checked. Thank you. Changing to advisory frequency approved. And squawk 7000. Have a good one. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Okay. So, transponder VFR. I'm very much sure that the guy over there will tell us to squawk again. We can already switch on the frequencies. We are not within the control zone anymore. We couldn't even report leaving the control zone. Elevation 2,200 feet, there we go. 2,300 feet, so we want to be at 3,500 feet for our traffic circuit. Yes, there's the elevation, by the way, 2,283, so 2,300. And as the traffic circuit is 1,200 feet, we're gonna be 3,500 feet on our traffic circuit. Very good. Let's get back to navigating. We'll go heading mode. We'll turn into a left-hand heading and follow straight in, basically. I don't think that calling in with the airport makes a lot of sense already. We need to descend 3,000 feet. And if we check real quick in front of us, 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet should be possible, but there's still some terrain coming up here, and it seems like we will not be able to overfly from the left side and from the right side, so we have to fly over this thing here, and here we need to be at 5,000 feet minimum. So what we can do is we're going to descend 5,500, we're going to take a vertical speed. Do a very shallow descent for around 300 feet. That is good. Trieben Unicom, Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima, approaching the airfield from the south, and we are 7.5 miles out. Stream traffic. Anyways, we can come down a little bit on our power
Oscar
set.
Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Trieben Airport Info. Runway 11 in use. Left circuit QNH 1018. Surface wind 080 at 8. No reported traffic to affect. Report downwind.
QNH 1018 and we'll report downwind Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. There's actually somebody there. Nice. QNH 1018, we will set that over here and over here. Perfect. Now we at the right height again. Good. We come in on our range over here. We can now see that that will be quite something to overfly. So what I am thinking is going on the right over here. And I think for that we're going to switch over to manual flying. Let's do that. First of all, we're gonna have our lighting on, we're gonna prepare our fuel pumps. Things might go fairly fast as soon as we approach the airfield. So I want to be all prepared. We're gonna open the charts. We're gonna have the approach chart come online. There we go. And we will take some right hand flying over here. Side plan. No, I wanted to stay at the charts over here. That was a mistake. We're gonna come down beautifully through the Alps over here. Oh, you just have to love this. So, new height is 3,000. I'm turning the wrong button here. That was the right knob. 3,500 feet. And this is the airfield right in front of us. So, we should report left downwind. And since we are fairly high, I think we're gonna cross over the airport. And then we're going to descend back there and come in for a downwind for the airfield. I think this is how we will do it. Okay, we can already start coming down on our speed. Let's keep her at around 15 inches to prevent her from supercooling. But other than that, we are good and set. And since we are taking a little bit of a different approach right here, right now, I want to get into this view. So we're heading straight for the terrain in front of us. We're going to take a right turn. That is a good basin to do our turn for the downwind. We can already start turning. Flying into the terrain like this doesn't feel very right. Okay. Here we go. Come out here. We're descending a little faster. Let's reduce our descent rate. We have no rush, but we need to bleed off some speed. Okay, let's bring her onto a little higher power set here. Fly out straight along this mountain line over here, and we are coming up with a good height for our final approach. We are approaching the 3,500 feet that we're supposed to be at, so I'm slowly taking our turn. And now we really want to come back on the throttle. I'm gonna get mixture pull forward already. Things are going to probably go quite fast here. We are looking for a pretty rough bank angle now, as we want to catch up with that power line down there again to be on the right path. Basically following this power line is perfect. Now we are at 3,500 feet. We need to trim out a little bit because she is quite imbalanced right now. have to add quite a lot of backstick pressure. And try to hold those 3,500 feet into the traffic zone. And once we are in it, we will tell the controller. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, left downwind runway 11. Will he acknowledge it? No. He will not. He just takes the report. Okay. Nevertheless, let's zoom in here. Aviate then navigate still, but yeah, we're looking good. So the lighting is on, the fuel pump is set. We try to come down on our speed even more. We are passing the threshold. We can already set flaps 1 here. We will slowly start descending into the field. We will overshoot unintentional because we're still fairly high. So we are continuing along the mountainside over here. Those people will probably not be happy. Taking noise abatement into account, but nevertheless, our safety is more important, and I don't want to force to go around here when we know that we are too high. So let's start our turn for final. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, final runway 11. Let's go flight 4. Down on the speed. There's the runway. Did he get the message?
500.
Yeah, but he couldn't care any less, it seems like. We are good on the approach speed. Let's get her. Let's get the nose down even more. There we are. Nice on the final approach. A little more trim adjusting. The wind is coming from the back. How would he give me runway 11? Let's try to get down early as we're coming in faster than we anticipated. Cut on the power. Beautiful. And tap the brakes. This is a fairly short runway, so you do not want to fiddle around a lot. Let's recover the engine here. Perfect. Okay. We can stop our timer. We can get around the curve over here. Very nice. And here we go. And we're just in time for a lunch break. So you see, reminder, we're in Austria, 2 hours extra, so it's 11:26, so it's perfect. We turn off the engine, we turn off, we get the aircraft shut down, and we're gonna get some lunch. And maybe we're gonna do our second flight right after that. But for now, landing light off, transponder is going on to standby. Fuel pump can come off, the flaps are coming up, and we will get out our checklist. And here we go, after landing checklist, that's what we need. Alternate AS closed, transponder is on standby, the lights are as required, the flaps are up, and the P2 heat and fuel pump off. That's checked. Perfect. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima vacated runway 11. that car is shining through, wow, that seems to be a visual
Oscar
path
Echo
over there.
Lima, runway 01 not available. Vacate via runway 11 only.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima has vacated runway 11. Did I say 10? I have no idea. Whoa, big blip here. And by the way, this is an ASUS airport, so you get this airport natively, and I think this is like a payware scenery, almost. It's so good. I really love it. Let's get past those cars over there and around the corner over here. Add a little bit of power. And the rest we can do later. Let's set the parking brake. Come back on the RPMs, 1000 RPM-ish, should be fine. In fact, we can let go of the brakes, we can turn off the taxi and position light. And here we are. Very good. Let's do a parking checklist, shall we? Parking brake is set, the engine instruments are all checked. The avionic master can come to the off position, throttle is at around 1000 RPM, ignition, grounding, there we go. And fuel cutoff, perfect. That grounding was a little too long, so I already killed the engine with the grounding, but I hope she will still be working. Let's turn that warning off, that will be annoying. Ignition is turned to off, there we go. Now, lights off, no other lighting is on, perfect. Electrical consumers are all off, battery master switch can come off. ASUS drop light is already off, and the cabin light is off as well. And we will deplug ourselves. And there we go. That is nice and perfect. We can open up the canopy and get out of the plane. And here we are in Trieben. I swear, it's such a beautiful airport. It's so cool to fly into. It's super small, not a lot of space, not a lot to do around here, but it's beautiful anyways. And it's so cool that this is natively in the sim. I love it. And it's a very nice place for lunch break, isn't it? Got the refueling station even over here. Yeah, it's just perfect. So over there's something, some sort of restaurant or something that you can go eat in. So I'm gonna do just that. And without any further ado, I say thank you for watching, thank you for flying with me, and I see you for our next flight. Bye bye.